My name is Anna, and I am the proud parent of Sherry and Kimberly. Both are students at Earl Boyles Elementary School, where they received early intervention services. Both of my daughters have been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. My family has been part of the services for the past 4 years and have witnessed many changes and advantages throughout the Early Boyles Early Education Program. Support was not only given to my children, but also to my husband and me since day one. When my oldest daughter, Sherry, was a toddler, my husband and I realized she was struggling with speech and social skills. Her vocabulary consisted of 4 words. She did not respond to her name and had a lack of interest in simple games. When we came across the early intervention, my daughter was evaluated and immediately qualified. At the moment, we were happy she would be helped, but when we were told that her characteristics fell into the autism spectrum disorder, our hearts just sank. Many questions and concerns came to mind, and we were lost. Luckily, the program provided information, resources to help her development, and home visits. Without them, we would have never known our daughter's disability. Months later, she was placed in a classroom with more kids with different learning skills, which helped her learning from others and get extra education time. We are very grateful with the program because the support came very accessible. I know my daughter's progress would be minimal without their great teachers and staff support. At the same time, when we began with the services, we looked for medical support and speech therapies. Unfortunately, medical services can be extremely limited, especially with families that had very low income and certain limitations. Up until today, my oldest has only received 11 medical visits, the maximum that her insurance covers, and is still on the 14-month waiting list to be re-evaluated. The impact of early education has made a great difference in their growth. It gives me great joy to see how today my daughters know the alphabet, recognize shapes, colors, and can introduce themselves, express their feelings and needs in words. The greatest joy for me as a mom was to hear my daughter say, "I love you, Mommy," and I no longer have to spend time seeing my girls cry, not knowing how to find the words to express themselves. To conclude, I feel that we as parents want the best for our kids. For example, success, security, confidence, and independence for them as individuals in the future. I know early education gave my daughters I know that early education gave my daughters the advantage to get closer to their goals regardless of their disabilities. My daughter Sherry now says, "Mom, I want to cook when I grow up," and my youngest says, "I'll be a puppy doctor." So this must remind us that kids have dreams. They are our future and deserve the best education, tools to help them grow. If I could ask the governor to do one thing, it would be to please help expand this program and help other families get the motivation and support to make their children succeed in life.
Hi, my name is Derek Morales. I'm from Ontario, Oregon. And for those of you who don't know where Ontario is located on the border between Oregon and Idaho. When I first started high school, I had no aspiration, motivation, or inspiration to do anything. Not until I met my welding instructor, Roger Watkins. Now, Mr. Watkins not only motivated me, but he gave me an opportunity. His passion for welding and metalwork, his passion for welding and metalwork was contagious and quickly became my own passion. Every day, I could not wait for shop class because I wanted to continue working on my metal project. I learned several different types of welding and cutting techniques that only increased my passion. Because of this passion, I have decided to pursue a career in this field, continue my education, and hopefully one day, open my own business. My senior year in high school, one of my instructors knew of someone who was hiring someone that could weld and cut. He gave me his contact information, and 3 days later, I was working in a fabrication shop. My starting wage was just under double that of Oregon's minimum wage. Thanks to the concurrent program between my community college and my high school, I was able to receive college credit for classes that I was taking at the high school. Not only did it save me time, but it saved me thousands of dollars in my education. Because of this concurrent program, I will be able to graduate with my 2-year welding degree this summer. I have always loved welding and designing, and this is why I am going to pursue my education in engineering. One of my welding instructors has always told me that if you are passionate for what you do, no matter how difficult it may become, you will always find a way to enjoy it. I was born and raised in a rural community, and I plan to open my business in a rural community. Many people ask how I know I'm from a rural community, and my answer is simple. If there are more livestock than there are people, or if there is more farmland than there is city land, I will continue in my field of study, complete my education, and hopefully one day open my own business. None of this would be possible without the passion that ignited my flame. That was my welding instructor. The opportunity of the concurrent program in my high school, and without the support of my family. As young high school students, we look forward to what gets us motivated and it makes us passionate, whether it's clubs, activities, sports, or even career technical education programs. If there's one thing I would like to tell Governor Kitzhaber, is to continue to provide the activities and programs that not only motivate students, but excite them and encourage them to be successful in life. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Michelle Cantor and I'm from Portland, Oregon. I sort of stumbled into a STEM education. High school for me was boring and I almost didn't graduate. At 19, I was pregnant. At 20, I had my son Silas. And at 21, I found out he had autism. And since no one else in my family had ever gone to college, I figured it probably wasn't worth leaving my son for. So I got a job as a nanny so that I could be with him and help him in the way that he needed. But Silas did well, and eventually he became school-aged, and I decided maybe I should go to school too. So I went to Portland Community College, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew who I was. I knew two things, that I really liked to talk, and I was a people person. So obviously that was a literature degree. I started taking math classes because they were required, but kept taking them because they were fun. And that's when Mr. Allison pulled me aside and said, Michelle, you are the only human being that I know that wants to do literature for a living and integral calculus for fun. It's possible you can do math for a living. And that's where I found my first key to success. I found a mentor. Mr. Allison pulled me aside and he recognized that I had potential even with my literature degree. I took some time and spoke with him and we decided an engineering degree was probably for me. Electrical engineering was the mathiest of the degrees, so obviously the most fun. And I am now a senior at Oregon Tech in the electrical engineering program. Thank you. Oregon Tech was a good choice for me for many reasons, but one of them was I was able to stay in my family home, my son could stay with his support team, and I could keep my well-paying job as a waitress and provide for my family. However, after about a year, I hit a roadblock. I found it really, really difficult to memorize the wine menu during the day and then Newtonian physics equations at night, and I found that I was forced to make a decision. Provide for my family with a living wage, or do well in school. Thankfully, I discovered my second key to success, and that was an internship with Intel. I'm a permatern, I've been there for 2 years now, but I know that I don't just fulfill a lofty goal of Intel providing support for STEM students. I know that I make real contributions in a meaningful way, and in return, I'm given a real paycheck, and I can pay for and support my family. If there was something that I could ask Governor Kitzhaber, I would challenge him, please increase the scope of the conversation for STEM recruitment. Getting into college is very important. Receiving funding for college is vital. But for students like myself, we need mentors in the universities who can recognize our non-traditional engineering skills. You really like to be right and you're kind of a control freak, or you're a little bit bossy, or you really like talking. These are engineering skills as well. We need mentors and someone in the college who can see outside of the box and realize that engineering takes all kinds of people, and with these skills, students like myself can thrive. Thank you.